November 14th to 21st, we're inviting you to join us for a powerful trip to Ghana. This isn't just a vacation. This is a chance to walk through the same places where many of our people were captured, held, and shipped off into slavery. So don't wait. Secure your spot today. We're making history by walking through it. Will you be with us?
Dumelang, Afsheni Ralocha Sanwanani Mulweni. My name is Naledi Mfulwe, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the latest edition of the African Diaspora News channel, where we unravel the stories that shape our world and our communities. When struggle songs scare presidents, then you know that the truth is louder than their lies. This week, in a surreal and frankly offensive moment in Washington, U.S. President Donald Trump used clips of South African opposition leader Julius Malema to support his long-standing and thoroughly debunked narrative of a so-called white genocide in South Africa. Now, he played videos from Parliament and EFF rallies waving inflammatory footage as though it were a courtroom exhibit, right? All in front of President Cyril Ramaphosa, who, to his credit, actually maintained composure. But let's be honest here, right? The spectacle was clearly colonial theater at its most crude, if you ask.
The man of DJ in PE is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They feel a terrible pain because you have touched a white man. Not because Mashaba and Soli will not be touched. They will be touched, no one. But we are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness. Yamasa, the brewer, the farmer, the brewer, the farmer, pa, pa, pa. So Shaya, so Shaya, so Valera, see so bad. Who will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they object, they can seek refuge in America.
Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites, over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road, you have crosses.
Kichima, Chibram Konto, Alliance, Shutu, Hamaza, the poor, the farmer,
Now, Julius Malema, right, though not present on the day, was very much the elephant in the Oval Office. And As we know, he didn't stay silent for long. In a statement on social media, Malema dismissed Trump and his team as a group of older men in Washington gossiping about him, and rightly pointed out that no significant amount of intelligent evidence had been presented to support the absurd claims of genocide. And on this, I agree with him. Let's watch.
Comrades, we must defend our country against imperialism. The only organization that is hated by imperialists is the EFF. I will never be intimidated by America. I will never be intimidated by Donald Trump. They were speaking about me in that meeting at White House. If they were not gossiping about me, they should have called me into that meeting. I would have answered everything that Donald Trump wanted from us. If they are not scared of me, call me into that meeting. That nonsense that Trump did in America, he will never do that nonsense in my presence, because I will confront him here and there with the facts. Ramaphosa could not present the facts in front of Donald Trump. You've got a coward president. Another president scared of another president. Donald Trump said to him, when you say farmers, you mean white people. He kept quiet. Farmers do not mean white people. They are black farmers. They are white farmers. Ramaphosa is a farmer himself. He should have said to Donald Trump, no, farmers are not white. I'm a farmer myself. I am not white. Why didn't he present that simple fact before Donald Trump? Why didn't he say there are so many people in South Africa and majority of them are blacks? There is no white genocide in South Africa. We don't have mass graves of white people in South Africa. Comrades, Donald Trump says to him, hey Ramaphosa, why are you not arresting this Julius Malema? Why is this Julius Malema not in jail? He can't respond with a simple fact that this song, the Boer the Farmer, was approved by the Constitutional Court. We are a constitutional democracy. We must defend the decision. He failed to defend the Constitutional Court. By failing to defend the Constitutional Court, it means he failed to protect the Constitution. And when you fail to protect the Constitution as the president of the country, you have failed in your primary duty.
Now, for those of you who don't know, right, the chant the Boer is not a literal call to violence. It's actually a historical struggle song that was born in the trenches of apartheid resistance, which is actually a poetic and symbolic cry against a brutal and dehumanizing system that declared war on Black South Africans for nearly 5 decades. It was never, right, never used as a command to commit violence. It was, and still remains, a political and emotional anthem against oppression. However, Donald Trump and many in his ideological corner don't care for context, right? They don't want nuance. They want fear, if anything, and they want to weaponize our pain and history and to feed conspiracy theories and stir racial panic for political gain. We all know that. However, I will say this though, right? President Ramaphosa missed an opportunity. I do believe that he could have, or rather should have, explained what the Boer actually means. That it is not about murder, but it is about memory and about resistance and about never forgetting where we actually come from. Struggle songs like this are the soundtrack of our liberation, and they're not hate speech, but they are actually history. And in today's South Africa, with inequality still very much present, land justice still unresolved, and apartheid economic growth still haunting our streets, these songs are not only relevant, but they're very essential. Because you cannot ask us to sanitize our history for the comfort of former colonizers or their apologists. You cannot ask us to forget in order to be heard. And don't get me wrong, Julius Malema is no saint, and his statements often cause controversy. But on this matter, and on the legacy of the land, and on the right to sing our struggle, and on the rejection of whitewash revisionism, he is absolutely right.
Yamazon, Sati, Yamazon, the poor, the farmer.
Now, if anything, I say that the revolution was never a performance, but it was real. And it's songs, our songs, that will not be silenced for political theater. What are your thoughts on this? Please, let's continue the conversation in the comment section. I really like to hear what your thoughts are on this. And while you're at it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up.